welcome to my home, by the way.
Yes.
Anytime you see a fat wash, either if it's a bacon fat wash or a brown butter wash, what have you, if you see it on a menu, it can be a little intimidating or a little esoteric sounding, but I'm here in my own house to show you guys. Oh, light now.
Yeah, now there's a light.
I'm here to show you guys that it is absurdly easy and there's nothing to it at all. If you have a stovetop, you can basically do it. And butter. Basically, the most expensive thing that you're gonna need is a vodka. For this, I've chosen Black Cow vodka because it's made entirely from milk, so it has no minerality. It's gonna work obviously very well with a dairy product like butter to bring out all those flavors and not interact with anything else. You're gonna use for one bottle, I like to use about 2 teaspoons, not teaspoons, tablespoons, give or take, of butter or fat. If you're frying bacon, save the liquid fat, you can dump that in. It's the same exact idea. Just gonna dump our butter in there. Yeah, you can show it there. While this butter is browning, it's gonna take a little while because there's a lot of it. You just wanna put whatever liquid that you're going to be using, in this case vodka, obviously, Black Cow, into a receptacle that you can seal.
Okay.
It should be airtight because you'll see later we're gonna jostle it a little bit. As once it melts, you get that nice buttery flavor, but when you brown it, you've actually started to char and react all of the lipids in there. So you start feeling them, you start tasting a lot more nutty flavors in there. And most importantly, you can see it brown. So once you see it actually turn brown, and especially those little flecks, those little black flecks, which is basically just carbon.
Oh, okay.
It's literally charring all of the lipids and carbohydrates and sugars in there, and some of the smaller ones are legitimately just turning into carbon. Okay, yeah, that smells like overburnt, basically French toast. Legitimately
And that's
smells
what you're
like
looking
burnt
for.
French toast, and that's exactly what you want. So stand back a little bit because, you know, you're putting something incredibly hot into something room temperature and liquid.
And nothing happened.
Yeah, no. You hear that little sizzle? That's
Yeah, okay.
Well, if you pour it really fast, it might blow up on you. But
Oh, for real? Okay,
so
you have to...
now you've just added. It doesn't look pretty. You've just added your fat to your solution. In this case, the vodka, obviously. What you want to do is, first off, give it a seal. Is now give it a little shake, because what you're doing is essentially a very ugly version of making tea. It's the same principle. You're just extracting all of the congeners from one phase, which is the butter or the fat, and letting it seep into the vodka. So you want to get that mixed up, make sure there's as much surface area spread between the two. When you do that, again, you have something hot, and whenever things switch phases, and this is just chemistry nerdiness, but it tends to release a lot of heat, so pressure will build up. So you want to give it a little burp there, and then seal it again. And you can leave this for a little while, put it in the freezer, maybe about 10 hours, because all that butter is going to congeal into fats.
Okay.
Like all as one solid, and that's going to make it a lot easier for you to filter after. The freezer, you notice that from the top where the fats are, it solidifies and goes down to the bottom, but they're nice and solid little clumps, which is perfect. So that's your butter. So all you need to do the filtering, you could use cheesecloth. That will get rid of most of the solids, but you'll still have a cloudy bit behind, and I'm a perfectionist and I like aesthetically pleasing results. So I choose to use a little more tedious method, but it gets the job done, and you can do that with a coffee filter. You don't need anything fancy. You just want to fold it. Get that. And then just fold out one end and fit it into a funnel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This works really well to separate all of the large chunks and all the small particulates, but it's a coffee filter, so it takes a long time. We can see right here. Got that?
Look at that little
Almost
curds.
there. Yep.
Curds.
Again, if you want it filtered really well, you gotta wait a little bit, but it's worth it.
But how long do you think that is?
For
For this whole bottle?
this whole bottle, probably about 40 minutes.
Oh.